The search for love goes
Hi,
on.
welcome everyone. I'm Monte Cagle. Hey, today I'd like to send out a greeting to all of you and all of you out there in cyberspace. Today I want to talk about a very interesting subject, and that is the subject of love and romance. A lot of people today are looking for love of their life, or someone that they could live with or be with or work with that would make their life complete. And I just wanted to tell you a little story about things that I'm sure that many of you can relate to, and a little story of how I found the love of my life. It's a real funny story because I want to encourage you in this, because find a love or a girlfriend was really difficult for me at the beginning when I was very young. The way it happened all my life, and which is another reason why I believe in God and I believe in prayer, is because I always prayed. I really did. At first, when I was a little kid, it wasn't so much prayer, like that I knew so much about it, but I remember one little sermon my preacher said something about prayer, and that you could ask God for everything, and if it was good for you, He'll give it to you. And I thought, and I never imagined that it could be true, but I started doing little tests here and there, and sure enough, He always answered my prayers. Now you could say, oh, it's psychological jargon you want to say, but I believe and I know it was just me looking up to God and Him just hearing me, and if it was something that was good for me, He answered my prayer. It wasn't a big pious thing like that, because I was a little kid. I didn't know about all the religious hocus pocus and talking to God and stuff as a kid, but like a little kid with his parent or anyone, you just asked, like, hey mom, could I get a quarter to go get me a lollipop or a nickel or whatever. And that's how my relationship started, from a little kid. And I just want to encourage you that God, our Father, and especially if you know Jesus too, it's like they're listening to us. They're actual tangible people in the spirit that you could actually touch and talk to. But anyway, on with the story. So look what happened. So that would happen to me several times. Like, wow, I really like this person, or I'd like this person as a girlfriend, and it happened quite often. And the reason why it was so fantastic to me, because in the first grade, I was average size, about of a little kid. I was 5 years old in first grade. Okay, second grade, pretty much I was as tall as all the other guys. But by the time I hit the third grade, everybody just went past me. Girls, guys, everybody. And I just was always short. I was the shortest guy in the class from the third grade all through high school, which I'm sure you feel a little inferior sometimes, and you feel like, wow, I have this thing that would stop me from competing with others. And although I was out a lot and I performed a lot in school plays and things, I was a very shy, introverted kind of a person. I really was. So look what happened. So, okay, first grade, I think it was, I'd like, God, I really would like to, it's just mental thoughts, like I really would like to know this girl or be her friend. Being that young of a boyfriend, girlfriend, it's kind of a funny thing, not that, but, kids that young always, because of television, because of friends or whatever, they think in terms of boyfriend, girlfriend. They really do. But I never had a girlfriend. I really didn't. So what happened, what really started the whole trend of prayer and knowing that God's really real and that he does answer prayer, is I'd say about the 7th grade. And this girl, I really liked her. You know, I saw her here and there and stuff, but I was too shy. I mean, I could talk in class or, you know, chew the fat and joke around with my friends, the guys, you know. But girls, ooh la la, they had with the dances. I always felt weird at the dances because all the girls were like a head taller than I was. So it was very difficult for me to try to talk to the opposite sex. As you know, in junior high school, all the way up to college, you know. So, but anyway, the first time that it really blew my mind. I saw this girl and I said, you know, I really would like to get to know this girl. And this actually happened. I got on my knees one day and I prayed. I said, Jesus, I really would like to know this girl, and if possible, I'd like her to be my girlfriend. I did. I really did. And sure enough, about 2 to 3 weeks after that, and I just started talking to her. And then about a week later, we got to be real good friends. And then she would come over to my cousin's house, and then we'd talk a little more. Now this is around about the 10th grade, more or less. And sure enough, within a month, she became my girlfriend. It was so funny. It was just like an answer to prayer. I rarely would go up to the, hey, baby, you know, kind of a thing. I would hold a girl's hand here or there. But I was just a kid, so I didn't really know about matters of real strong girlfriend relationships as a kid. But little infatuations, little crushes on different girls here and there I had. If you want to find someone in your life and you're like always looking for someone, approach it from a spiritual level. Approach it from a level of real love and real wanting to be around someone and be an encouragement or a help to someone. And before you know it, boom, it'll happen. And there is a God who will supernaturally intervene in your behalf. He will, because he loves you and he loves the other person if your intentions are good, if your intentions are of love and encouragement and just being around somebody that you like to be with. God is real. He loves you and he'll answer your prayer. You can actually pray. You know, there's a verse in the Bible. It's in Matthew 7, 7 through 8. It says, ask and ye shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened. And it's true. It's true for every phase of your life. You know, if something is good for you and it can make you a better person and it can help the other person, God is he's elated and delighted to give it to you. And if you ask, I know it sounds a little like you're controlling it, but in a way we are controlling things through our belief, through our faith. And if our intentions are good, it'll happen. And one other thing, you know, I think I've shared the story of how I met my wife in another video. If you go onto my site, you can see it online at montecagle.com. And I think it's in my video archives, our story. And also it's on YouTube. But I just want to say, like, from that point of my life, when I actually did that specific prayer that day, I'll never forget it. I got on my knees, because, you know, in those days, you know, like, get on your knees and pray to God. And I actually prayed. Now, if you have any questions about that, you can always write askmontec@gmail.com. And I'll write you back, and I'll share some of the testimonies and some of the things that happened to me in my life. But it's a true story. He really answered prayer. And you know what? It's funny. I was never a ladies' man. Like, I didn't have the cool, hey, baby, yeah, I love you very much, and all these cool sayings that the guys used to do later on in high school, like, junior, senior high school. And especially by the time I hit college, I mean, I was like petrified by some of the girls that I saw in college, and it went like that through my life because I always felt a little inferior because I was always short. I was the shortest person almost in every class. Rarely was there. I was the shortest person through high school. And even when I got to college, I can't believe it. It was the truth. And every time it was that it was never the cool guy approach. But I got to be a real ladies' man even in later later on after college, and I always had women around me, and I always met girls, and I always just had someone close by like that, a girlfriend, you might say, because I was always praying, and I was always trying to be kind, and I always tried to be kind of a loving person, and but I still was very shy. But for some reason, I don't know, the girls just kind of gravitated around to me because I was like, it was like a friend. And I would, and from what I've seen, learned from my wife, that girls always gravitate to guys that they feel that they can trust, or are just being themselves. I mean, the cool cat stuff, to be honest, like, it depends on what kind of person you want to be around. But I find that being honest, being yourself, and just being a fun person to be with always gets you a girl. Or would you say might get you a guy? It seems now the years ago it was always the guy trying to get a girl, right? But now it seems that it's kind of reversed. A lot of the guys nowadays don't want to be around girls, or be a father, or be a companion to someone. And that's really sad. But I tell you, I wanted to make this video because I also saw recently a video of a lot of women and guys who are getting scammed from, let's say, Don Juans or scam artists who are getting a lot of money or taking advantage of people who are lonely. I just want to say that prayer, just prayer, if you ask God, He will answer your prayers, especially for someone to love and be with. The Bible says it's not good that man should be alone, and God will always, He blesses people who love each other and who will, living together and things like that. There's a lot I'd like to say on the subject of marriage, but today I especially want to say, if you're looking for someone to be a part of your life, be a loving person. And, just trying to be cool or trying to be somebody you're not, you probably have a 40% chance of finding that right person. But if you're just being yourself, and especially a loving person, and just try, just step out by faith, just being a kind person and smiling at people, or just saying hi, or giving a kind word to somebody, and being an encouraging person, and people just will kind of gravitate towards you. So that's one of the things that I'd like to say about prayer. It's so important to pray. Pray and ask God for everything. And you know what? I found this, I will leave you with this one little tip. Don't look for someone that will make you happy only, but look for someone that you can make happy and be a blessing to. And I tell you, I can guarantee you 100% that, boom, you'll find that guy that you've been looking for, or that girl you've been looking for all your life. And you won't have to live in some kind of a charade or some kind of false image to get it. Just be a loving, kind person. Think about it. And one of the most important things, God is real. I'm just going to speak on that. There's many different ways that I found out that he's real, through miracles, through supernatural interventions in my life that I've mentioned before in many of my videos. And just speak to him, speak to God, speak to Jesus, because he loves you. He really does. And he died for you. And he wants you to be happy. I'm not just talking about being religious or pious or whatever, but he wants to fulfill every desire of your heart. And it just begins with just knowing him. Even a girlfriend or a boyfriend. He'll give you a girlfriend or boyfriend. I mean it. And I can guarantee you, I can tell you the truth, just ask. If you don't know Jesus and you don't know about asking God for stuff, just start a relationship with him. Just by asking Jesus into your heart in a simple prayer. I've spoken a lot about that on my videos, how to receive Jesus into your life. And so if you go on to my website, montecagle.com, you can see many of the things under Spirit World in my videos that I have on my website. And I have many things on the net about it. And I'm going to be speaking a lot more in the future on it, because there's a lot of things that can encourage you, and I want to encourage you, and I don't want you to suffer. I'd like to take that pain and suffering out of your life. And the first start is just knowing God and having him in your life. And he'll change your life and make it beautiful and wonderful and give you wonderful relationships. He will. Simply asking him. But first, know him and receive him into your life. Log onto my website, montecagle.com, and you can see many of my videos online that I speak a little bit on that subject of salvation and knowing Jesus. And then, once you start that relationship with him, you can actually talk to him like a friend or father or mother, just almost like your mother, really. And if something is good for you and for other people and can make you a better person, he'll give it to you. He will, just like he's done for me. And I tell you, I have a beautiful wife. I mean, my story, I think I have a episode where I talk about how I met my wife of 39 years. Well, we will have been together or known each other as in a relationship for 39 years, and we have 10 beautiful children, and we love them, and they're wonderful guys and girls. I have six boys and 4 girls, and that was also, we prayed for children, and the Lord gave us 10. Then we even prayed, Lord, we think we have enough, and we prayed, and so we'd like to have a little pause, and sure enough, boom, after 10. And we didn't do anything. We didn't try to control it ourselves in any fashion, shape, or form. It just, boop, happened like that. So, all to say, remember, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth, and he that seeketh, findeth, and to him that knocketh, it shall be open. Remember that verse. That's in the book of Matthew, chapter 7. I love the Bible. It's almost like it's a contract with God. So just remember, ask. And sincerely get to know Jesus. And if you know him, just use the authority that he's given you in his word, because he wants to give you everything. And he loves you very much, even in your love life. I can tell you, he really does. So I hope you enjoyed the little story. And also, I'd like to encourage you to keep logging on to montecagle.com. And I'm starting to blog more, and I'm going to do more videos. And these are true stories and things that I'm sure can help you. It's like, it's not an impossible situation. God loves you, and he wants to give you everything. Yeah, he does. And so thanks for listening. And also, I'd like to encourage you to keep going to share my videos with your friends or loved ones or anyone that you think might need them. And also, like I said, I have a new book. I have a lot of materials that we're producing now on from my family and from our experiences with having kids and family and our love life and every area of our life, because we want to encourage all of you that just like God loves me, He loves you. He loves us all. And it's everything He has to give you is free. And it's forever. So I just want to say, have a nice day, evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And just keep logging on to my website, montecagle.com. And share my videos with your friends or loved ones. And also, I'd like to encourage you to get my new book. Well, it's not new. It's been out for a while now. It can help you. It's called Racism and the Cure. And I'm working on a few other things. And oh yes, in that book, I have a chapter on love and the experiences that I've had with women. I really did. I covered a lot of that in one of the chapters in that book. I think it'll be an encouragement to you. So read the books, get my books, and the many other things that I have that are coming out on my side and that are coming out from my family. So keep logging on to montecagle.com. Have a nice one, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
The search for love goes on forever. The heart is so hungry to find